Hi, friends. My name is Amber, and I'm just a girl who, for a really long time, felt completely unsure when it came to Jesus Christ. I grew up in the church, and I'm telling you, 3 times a week kind of church, Pentecostal people rolling on the floor kind of church. So I thought I knew Jesus. Like my whole life was surrounded with Jesus at the center. But when I became an adult and I had my first child, I think all the religious rules, the church rules caught up to me, and I walked away from my all of my childhood faith. And so for almost 20 years, I wasn't sure about Jesus. I actually really didn't think he was even real at that point. I had always believed in God, that all religions point to God, and I just was very spiritual. But for 20 years, I really was unsure about Jesus. Until one day, about a year and a half ago, I decided, I really want to research this and research this not from a church perspective, not from the perspective that my parents taught me, but by an evidence based historical research perspective. Like, I need to know for sure. And then one day I just asked, I was like, God, Jesus, I need to know if you are real or not. For me to believe and like kind of tiptoe back into my childhood faith, I was tiptoeing back. I was kind of going to church. I just need to know that you are real for sure. And it needs to be evidence based. So now with this series, I want to share my journey to Jesus with you. And this is the book that I used to kind of really learn who Jesus was historically and with evidence. Not because I have all the answers. I definitely do not have all the answers. I still have lots of questions myself. But I went on this journey because I was so desperate for truth that because we're in a world that is so loud with so much chaos and noise. So I started digging into history, stuff I could actually verify. Roman records from guys like Tacitus, who hated Christians but still wrote that Jesus was executed under Pilate, Old Testament prophecies, and Jewish historian Josephus, who is super fascinating that I never even heard about when I grew up in the church, mentioning Jesus and his brother James. So the crucifixion that every serious historian accepts, the tomb that was empty when people went looking, and the appearances, hundreds of people, including skeptics and enemies who said they saw Jesus alive. So I didn't want fairy tales. I just needed facts, like real facts that could survive my own doubts. So we're going to walk through it all together in Jesus Unfiltered, historical evidence that changes everything. No pressure, no judgment, just the evidence I found when I was too scared and too tired to keep pretending that I don't think Jesus is real. And when I decided to see if he was real or not, here is what I did. So we're going to look at the counter ideas too, the swoon, the hallucinations, stolen body legends, and see why they actually just don't hold up. We'll talk about the minimal facts even most skeptical scholars accept. And at the end, we'll face the question that stopped me in my tracks. What do you say that I am? Matthew 16:15. Because if he really rose, if he really is who he says he is, then maybe I'm not as alone as I thought. And maybe we're not alone as we think. If you're in that same place, doubting, hurting, curious, or just exhausted, come with me. Grab your Bible or not. I didn't have one for a really long time. Bring your imperfections, your skepticism. I had a ton of that. Bring your coffee, your questions. We don't have it all figured out. I definitely don't have it all figured out. We just have to be willing to look for the answers. Join me in this short series, Jesus Unfiltered, historical evidence that, changed my entire life.